Arsenal looking to continue an excellent run against Everton. They've won their last 16 games against the Toffees, 13 of those in the WSL. But before kick-off, a moment to take a stand by taking a knee against all forms of racism and discrimination. It's very important. The game is for all of us to enjoy regardless of your identity. Home fans already into good voice, and they'll be hoping to cheer their team back to winning ways. Arsenal, after that damaging home loss against Manchester United, looking to make it 15 wins in 16 WSL games. They've been on a record competition winning streak until that loss. Of course, had that draw in Turin, where actually they were arguably the better side in the game, and it does leave them with 7 points from 3 in what is a difficult way for Women's Champions League group. Up against an Everton side with nothing to lose today, looking to cause something of a surprise. Very notable as well, Everton in their 3-4-3 system that Brian Sorensen's preferred. No second thoughts from Sorensen about rotating or in any way being a little bit more defensive in their shape, with the threats of Jess Park and Aggie Beaver-Jones coming into the side. Graham looks for options. Eventually goes for the aforementioned Benison. Will be a creative threat in midfield, but has given that away. Leonardson Mornham. Now back for Jen Beattie. Getting a rare start today, a first WSL start since the draw against Manchester United here way back in February. Valti. Already showing those snake hips by trying to wriggle away from the challenge of Aggie Beaver-Jones, and does so brilliantly. Trademark Valti. Now wide it goes for McCabe. He's always going to want to cut in onto that preferred right foot off, left foot I should say, off that right wing, Katie McCabe. Down the line from Catley. Now to Wubben-Moy. Dean Reuter. McCabe clips one in. Miedemar couldn't quite take it down, but applauded the intent. Viviana Miedemar in the starting lineup today. Hasn't scored in her last 4 in the WSL, albeit 3 of those have been substitute appearances. She's never gone 5 without a goal in the competition. Sevica. Graham. Wing-backs have been crucial to how Everton have played this season, and it's nice work down that touchline from Lucy Graham. We've seen Graham on that side, and then on the other flank, Lisa Stanovic, who's there today, and Gabby George has played in that left wing-back role a fair bit too. Everton, who had that 3-0 win at Anfield, but apart from that, have struggled somewhat for goals. You take that game out, and they actually scored 4 goals in their other 6 WSL matches. 4 of those coming from set pieces, so there has been a feeling that although Brian Sorensen has made them a very tidy possession-based team, they're just lacking a little bit of ability to cut teams open in open play at the moment. A lot of new combinations being threaded together as well. After a summer of significant player turnover, as well as in the dugout too. Finishing 10th last season in a difficult campaign that had 3 different managers. Willie Kirk, Jean-Luc Vasseur, and then Chris Roberts and Claire Ditchburn as interim bosses. Everton had started the season with aspirations to be up in the top 3 and challenging for those Champions League spots, but didn't come to pass quite like that, of course. Beattie. Dean Reuter. Patient possession from Arsenal. I know one thing that a few of us were eagerly watching today is quite how high Everton would press, but they've certainly shown a real intent to press pretty high up the pitch in the early stages here. No foul on McCabe, and now Everton can look to build. Benison. Not a best pass, and instead Ford intercepts Blackstenius. Blackstenius has options. One of them's Miedemar. The pass has just too much on it. Gabby George gets there. Gabby George is one of Everton's very proudest graduates through their academy and youth team system that's produced so many brilliant players over the years. Made her first team debut at just 17 and played in the 2014 FA Cup final when Arsenal won 2-0 thanks to goals from Kelly Smith and Yukari Kinga. Win gave Arsenal a rare FA Cup double of winning both the men's and the women's in the same season. It was a bit of revenge for 4 years before when Everton beat Arsenal in the 2010 FA Cup final. Natasha Dawood scoring the winner in the 119th minute in extra time. Here's Wienreuter. Arsenal have the first corner of this game. What can Arsenal make of the set piece? Frida Leonardson-Mornham across to take it, whose talent has never been in doubt, but has broken through onto another level this season in particular. Leonardson-Mornham's corner towards BT, who couldn't quite get body manoeuvred in the right way to get a chance at the shot. It was well defended by Everton eventually. He's a handy player to aim for from set pieces, BT. McCabe wins the throw. Ford. Inside for Catley. Catley's cross. Flashes all the way through. Nobody at that back post for Arsenal. Stejnovic up against Wienreuter. So he's the Stejnovic who joined in September on a 2-year contract from Eskilstuna in Sweden. Part of quite a number of Scandinavian players here at Everton, under the coaching of Brian Sørensen. Trying to put some pressure on. Eventually Emily Ramsey comes out and gets there. Ramsey on loan from Manchester United. It's the 4th time out on loan from the Red Devils. Been at Birmingham, West Ham and Sheffield United previously. BT looks more direct. Instead finds Stejnovic. Picked up in there by Blackstenius. Well, one back by Natalie Bjorn. Zveka sets it wide. Graham can run. Looking for the link up. Didn't quite happen that time. Leonardson-Mornham can get Arsenal going. Arsenal fans serenading in their appreciation of the Avolti, who, you know, you've won the hearts of supporters when you've got multiple chants. She's got that one, and then there's also a song that it's from Chaka that's sung to Ain't Nobody Like the Avolti. He brings it away here and finds Miedemar in between the lines. Danger here for Everton. Miedemar slides it through for Blackstenius. Little touch on it from Gabby George. Ford's in there. Shepherded out for a first Arsenal corner from that far side, their second of the game. What can they make of it? Steph Catley over it, so good at delivering from dead ball scenarios. It's been a new contract for Arsenal in the summer, to the delight of Gunners fans. Catley's corner. Not properly cleared by Everton. Leonardson-Mornham. Catley. Hudson Mornham again. Digs out a low cross. Might be possibilities for Everton on the break here. Here goes Jess Park. And that's trouble if you're an opposing defence. Nice. Slightly heavy touch from Park. It's on loan from Manchester City, of course. Park not playing against her parent club when they met in Everton's last WSL game, of course. Gio is on loan at Everton from Arsenal. Hasn't been getting a huge amount of pitch time, has been a regular sub, but has had a hip issue. And as Eideval, the Arsenal boss, saying that it was something that they'd look at in January. All possibilities are open in that regard. Did say one thing I'm certain about is that we need a replacement for Beth Mead. And of course out with an ACL. And one of a number of Arsenal players out, to the point where Arsenal fans were jokingly referring to their team as Injury FC on social media. Have at least got Rafaeli Souza and Leah Williamson back on the bench today, but there's still a fairly long list of those missing. Taya Goldie on her ACL rehab is back running. Kim Little with an MCL out until the new year, and Lina Hurtig has got a hamstring strain, with Eideval hopeful of return before Christmas. Slightly rejigged Arsenal side formation-wise today, with Jordan Nobbs dropping to the bench. Katie McCabe moving from left back up into this wide right midfield channel, from which she picks it up now and runs. McCabe trying to slide it in behind for Blackstenius. Blackstenius will get there. There's no one at the far post for Arsenal. Karen Holmgaard can clear. McCabe might hit one. Instead was trying to link up with Miedemar. Park helps it on. It's nice. Got her first Everton goal in the recent Conti Cup win. And Sheffield United, Everton back in Conti Cup action next Wednesday. And they face Manchester United in what's a really important game in Group A of that group, a very open group that also features Aston Villa and Durham. Arsenal, of course, not in the Conti Cup group stages due to Champions League group stage action. They'll join at the quarters. And whilst it might be lower on their priority list than other competitions, winning a trophy of any kind will be particularly important this season. They are at risk of a 4th straight trophy this season, which for a club of Arsenal's size is something of a surprise, since winning the WSL in 2019. Ironically, another season where, like this one, they had a big injury crisis in the early part of the campaign. Since then, Arsenal's longest trophyless run since their formation in 1987, and their wait until winning their first trophy, the Premier League Cup, in 1992. Since then, they've never had a longer run without a trophy until where we are now. Valti, McCabe, and Hudson Mornham. Catley. Catley's cross. Foul on Benisson. Anna Benisson, who was nominated for the Golden Goal Award for the most impressive up-and-coming young players throughout Europe. He's made an appearance in every Everton game since he signed for a record fee in the summer of 2021, when Everton spent quite big, and there was a lot of chatter that they might be able to try and disturb that consistent top 3 of Arsenal, Manchester City and Chelsea, who finished in the top 3 of the WSL and won every major trophy going since 2015. So whilst one might be hesitant to label it, the evidence is there in black and white. Of course, Manchester United desperate to disturb that conversation, and they're going about doing that yet again today at Old Trafford. If you don't wish to know the score, then mute your audio for 20 seconds or so. Manchester United 4-0 up against Aston Villa. Katie Zellem, Leah Galton Alessia Russo and Onabaje all with the goals, so that's going to take Manchester United onto 21 points from 8 games. It'll also take their goal difference onto plus 17, so it means that Arsenal would need to, as things stand, win this game by 2 clear goals to stay above Manchester United in the table. Benison looking to break out from that high press. George, a little bit of space here for Stevanik. Won nicely by Bjorn. Benison. Nice touch on from Park. Tidy spell of possession for Everton. We're looking for a first win away against Arsenal since March 2009, 13.5 years or so ago. And they ended Arsenal's 108 league game, 5.5-year unbeaten record with a pretty emphatic 3-0 win. Farrell Williams, of course, a Lioness legend as well. Shell Hinnigan and Jill Scott, recently crowned Queen of the Jungle, all on the score sheet that day. Here comes Park, slides it through. Stevanik. Stevanik's cross, just over the head of Beaver Jones. Frantically cleared by McCabe, uncertain from Arsenal. Really good from Everton. Remember, of course, you can get involved on social media as well. All things Arsenal on @Arsenal WFC. All things Everton on @Everton Women. And everything across the league on @Barclays WSL. If you have any thoughts, questions, or let us know where you're watching from, you can get in contact with me, your commentator, Michael McCann, on @ThisIsMcCann, MCCANN. It's nice to hear of people watching from right around the world globally. I know that if you're in the USA or that kind of region, this is a relatively early start for you. Nicely worked move from Everton, this. Park shot blocked. Really good spell in the game for the Toffees here. Lovely play from Stevanik. It's set back for Jess Park. Snuffled out by Lotte Wubben-Moy, who manages to prevent the corner as well. Jess Park, of course, on the score sheet at Anfield when Everton managed to silence the vast majority of the 27,574 in the ground that day with a 3-0 win. Haven't scored more than one in a league game apart from that, though. Zinsberger clears under pressure. Blackstenius couldn't quite keep it in play. Stina Blackstenius, who's been a real asset for Arsenal ever since signing. He's already up to 10 goals in the WSL and only joined the league in late January. Signed from BK Häcken. Has consistently outperformed her expected goals as well. Just 6.5 expected goals for Blackstenius in the WSL, 10 actually scored. Miedemar recycles. Everton on the high press. Arsenal break out nicely. Wienreuter has room. Still Wienreuter. Eventually well cut out. Now Everton's turn to build. Heavy touch from Aggie Beaver-Jones, the Chelsea loanee. Good pressure from Wubben-Moy. Recycled by Vanti. Wienreuter. Seemingly winning the competition with Noel Moritz for the right-back spot so far this season. In terms of minutes between the two, Wienreuter's played comfortably more. It's a very interesting piece from Tim Stillman comparing the different options that those two players offer. So Everton get the throw. That piece done by Stillman in combination with Yash, who can be found on Odriozo Light on Twitter, looking at the different options that Moritz and Wienreuter give to the Gunners. To one of a number of signings in January last year, where it was far busier for Arsenal in terms of incomings than in the summer. Graham can't bring it down, and Ford's managed to win it. And now Ford can get going, meet him up. Falti, once loses the ball, that really is a collector's item. That is not something you see, I was going to say, any day of the week, pretty much any time. Forward by Snoes. Played by Ford, now Beattie. McCabe. Katie McCabe, who last season picked up so many yellow cards that at one point it became something of a running theme in terms of discussion both in and outside the camp. There's even a Twitter account in honour of it. Did Katie McCabe get a yellow card today? Beth Mead actually found a yellow card at the Emirates after the North London derby win against Spurs. He was jokingly waving it around, not just at McCabe, but also at Caitlin Ford, who has started picking up her fair share of them this season. Indeed is slightly ahead of McCabe on that tally. But Stenius just couldn't quite bring it down. Ended up hitting the back of her heel. Graham linking up with Park. You can see two dugouts at the top of your picture, Jonas Eidevall and Sonson. Sonson, who did an excellent interview that was out just this week with their Pitch podcast, all about his coaching journey. Well worth a listen to. Amongst other things, was talking about the fact that he actually interviewed for the Arsenal job that Jonas Eidevall got when Eidevall took over from Joe Montemuro. It's not the only significant link between these two teams in that summer, because Frida Leonardson Mornham nearly joined Everton in the summer of 2021. Willie Kirk saying, I think it was a done deal, and for whatever reason we never managed to get it over the line. And of course, all footballing ironies, Leonardson Mornham's first Arsenal goal was a 25-yard screamer against Everton in October 2021. She's only gone from strength to strength ever since. Really good pressure in there from Catley. Safety first from Everton. What can Arsenal create here? Normally a very difficult side to keep quiet, of course. Ruben Moy. Wienreuter. Wienreuter crossfield for Ford. Ford onto Miedemar. Still Miedemar. And still Miedemar! Magnificent Miedemar! The Dutch woman at her very best. Well, I said she's never gone 5 WSL games without a goal. That is a stunner. Arsenal with the lead, and it's Viviana Miedemar haunting Everton once more. Got her first ever Arsenal goal against the Toffees way back in October 2017. And now has 7 in 9 league games against them, and counting after that strike. Strike of the highest quality. Indeed, it does very much accentuates something that I'd had on my mind anyway, which is been laughing somewhat at the idea that people had been thinking to doubt her, of course. There have been some question marks around Miedema, and I think a lot of people forgetting the context of having COVID badly at the Euros, spending most of that in a hotel room, and rightly taking a break from football recently in a holiday in Australia. But a list of individual and team honours in her career is simply ridiculous. And to be honest, the only thing even more impressive is her full name, which I kid you not, for those unfamiliar, is Viviana Margareta Marina Astrid Miedema. Demonstrating her striking quality yet again with a special goal in a game that hasn't really had many clear-cut chances aside from that. George. Picked up by Valti. Now Miedema, who's in the mood, sets it wide. Ford to strike. Ramsey had to make sure. Caitlin Ford hunting a goal to go with her assist. Ford, who signed a new contract in the summer. What can Arsenal make of this corner? Supporters into particularly good voice after that fine strike from Miedema. Catley's corner. Handed away by Bjorn. Handed down by Leonardson Mornham. Now Everton can look to clear. And the chase is on. Zinsberger under a bit of pressure from Aggie Beaver-Jones. Everton trying to work something, but snuffled out by Ford. And then are coming together there. Everton get the free kick to the frustration of the home fans. Fouled by Blackstenius. Here's another look. Blackstenius up against Rika Sevica. Danish international is down, and it gives Everton just a chance to tactically regroup. You can see Brian Sørensen on the touchline there. Joined in the summer on a 2-year contract, and it's very much already set out how he wants to see this Everton side play. In conversation there with Hannah Bennison. Sørensen, whose last club was at Fortuna Hjørring, where, amongst other things, coach Senior Brun has worked with many of the biggest and best names in women's football. Coach Pernilla Harder at Skolbakken, and was also the reason why Amelia Vanskard returned to football from a break a couple of years back, and has since been in superb form in the Damallsvenskan, which speaks a lot about Sørensen's ability to manage his players and get the best out of them. Won 2 league titles at Fortuna Hjørring and had the club regularly in the UEFA Women's Champions League. Arsenal also taking the delay as a chance to pass on some coaching and tactical instructions from the dugout. Of course, not exactly short of leadership material. The Arsenal squad littered with players who are captains for their countries, including 2 that are back on the bench today in Rafaela Souza and Leah Williamson. Who've been the first choice centre-back pairing. In pre-season, Rafaela was trying to help Williamson get over her fear of riding a bike, then as Arsenal fans wanted to point out, they got injured together, rehabbed together, back on the bench together today, may well be back on the pitch pretty soon, of course. They'll captain each other's countries against the other one at Finalissima in April at Wembley, you would assume, so long as they're both fit. England facing Brazil, that will be a night to look forward to. Back underway then, Stefanik, George. Beaver Jones round the corner, Stefanik again. Arsenal on that ferocious high press that's been a feature of Jonas Eidevall's tenure. Thrown forward for Blackstenius. To McCabe's disappointment, it's an Everton throw. George. I know there was a feeling pre-match chatting to David Astle, who's as good a man as any to talk to about WSL tactics. That Everton might go out and press from the front, and wouldn't be a surprise to see them try and contain Arsenal and cut off their transitional play, but defensively they'll have to be careful because they were undone with a high backline against Chelsea and Manchester United. Of course, Arsenal do have the weapons to do the same. It was an astute observation. Seen so far, Everton have been relatively brave a fair bit of the time in their press. Just that moment of magic from Miedemar that's the difference. Ford. Miedemar's little touch on for Blackstenius. Blackstenius to strike. Straight at Ramsey. So clever from Viviana Miedemar. Now is Blackstenius to hit it. Viviana Miedemar, someone that has incredibly high football IQ, just to see little moments and passes like that. Just chatting to a former head coach, indeed Arsenal's former head coach, Joe Montemuro. So here comes Miedemar again. Miedemar's going to strike. Too close to Ramsey. In the mood for goals today, the Flying Dutchwoman. Beware Everton. Already the difference. Joe Montemuro is saying about Viviana Miedemar, she's a fantastic person. She'd come into the office and have a chat about some South American game that was on in the middle of the night. We're both football tragics, both couch potatoes who would sit on our respective couches watching football matches for the small things, little players' movements and runs. And it shows in moments like that from Miedemar with that flick round the corner for Blackstenius. And some Mornham closing down and forcing Everton into having to slightly messily head back to Ramsey and restart. Everton looking to cause something of a surprise today. Must be said they do have a pretty awful record against this established top four of Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, and then Manchester United, who finished fourth in 3 straight seasons since joining the league. Lovely little roulette from Miedemar to keep the ball with Arsenal. Everton losing 41 of their last 43 games against that top four. That is a quite astounding statistic. Did draw 1-1 against Manchester United in November last year. Catley can cross. Catley does cross. Miedemar recycles. Leonardson Mornham. Straight at Ramsey. Certainly got quite an eye for goal, the Norwegian. Already has 5 in all competitions. Arsenal's joint highest scorer alongside Blackstenius. Beth Mead and also Miedemar, who's moved on to 5 with that goal earlier on in this half. Beaver Jones, clever skills, but won back by Valti. Lotte Wubben-Moy showed such leadership off the pitch after being part of the winning Lionesses side at the Euros in the summer, with Letta demanding change and to let girls play. Don't stop dreaming, and we won't stop fighting for your opportunity to do so. Amen to that message. Beattie. Moy looks crossfield and finds Ford, who's got lots of space and has got Miedemar. Interception from Rika Sevica, concedes the corner. Arsenal take it quickly. Well cut out. It needed to be as well from Benisson. And Benisson, who in 2019 turned down the chance to join Lyon to focus on her studies. Signed for Everton in 2021 from Rosengård. Corner taken short, Ford recycles. Catley's ball back in, falls towards Miedemar, who goes down. Referee Sonny Gill not interested, and instead Park can break forward for Everton. Park. Sent forward, it almost ran for Aggie Beever-Jones. Zinsberger got there. Beever-Jones, the Chelsea loanee, who had a very good loan spell last season at Bristol City, where she started every game and scored 5 goals in the Barclays Women's Championship. Got her first Everton goal in the Conti Cup earlier this season. And if you don't keep that much of an eye on the Barclays Women's Championship, maybe you're one that focuses more on the top flight of the English domestic women's game, then certainly urge you to have a look. It's a fascinating and incredibly competitive league. Probably the most open promotion race it's had in a long time. It's always a ferocious battle with just one spot up for grabs in terms of getting back into the WSL, of course. Liverpool coming up as champions last season. Everton trying to work their way out from the press. Lucy Graham getting through. Referee Gill saying no foul either way. Do have a full-time result from elsewhere, so if you don't wish to know, I know some people like to watch certain games without knowing the results of others, then mute your audio. Manchester United have won 5-0 against Aston Villa. Katie Zellerman and Leah Galton scoring in the first half. Leslie Rousseau, Honor Badge, and then Rachel Williams in the second. Williams getting her first goal for the Red Devils. An emphatic result for Mark Skinner's side at Old Trafford. Takes them on to 21 points from 8 games, level with Chelsea, identical record in terms of points and games. Indeed, they go top on goal difference for now. Reuter has to be careful. Way by Moy, but only as far as Bjorn, who plays it inside. Shooting chance over the bar from Katja Snoys. What an opportunity for Everton. Mistake from Moy. Very intelligent pass by Bjorn. And Snoys on the turn can't hit the target. Katja Snoys, the summer signing from Bordeaux, after back-to-back prolific seasons there. She's also got a very good goal record, building in her international career with the Netherlands too. Miedemar wide for McCabe. He won't quite keep it in. The Manchester United result means that if Arsenal want to go top and above the Red Devils, they don't need to just win this game as they are now. Going to need to actually score 2 more goals and win it by 3 clear goals. Remember that Chelsea are also in action today, kicking off in 20 minutes or so away at struggling Leicester City, who are bottom and pointless. So Chelsea will back themselves to win that one, and therefore finish the day as they started it, 3 points clear of Arsenal and Manchester United, who would both have a game in hand on them. One back by Wienreuter. McCabe has it taken off her, and now Everton can build. Beaver Jones has options left and right. Goes for George. Great interception from Lotte Wubben-Moy, who then draws the foul from Gabby George and snuffs out the danger for Arsenal. Slight miscommunication. Hands Arsenal the goal kick. Arsenal looking to continue this excellent head-to-head run against Everton. 12 straight home wins in all competitions since Everton beat Arsenal away in March 2009. Got to go back to August 2012 for the last time Everton avoided defeat against Arsenal, home or away. Everton on their own patch, drawing 2-2 against the Gunners back in August 2012. Kim Little and Jordan Nobbs both on the score sheet for Arsenal that day. Last time Everton beat Arsenal was back in July 2011, a 3-1 home win. Tony Duggan scoring the third. Duggan, of course, back at Everton now, but not involved today due to her pregnancy that she's spoken out very publicly about that journey. And Arsenal fans will be pretty pleased Tony Duggan isn't playing today. She scored the joint most goals of any player against Arsenal in the league since the WSL started, 7, alongside Ellen White, who of course retired in the summer. Duggan scoring 3 of those for Man City, and her last Everton goal in her first spell with the club was also against Arsenal. Wubben-Moy. Too much on it for McCabe. Sevica recycles. Everton looking for a route back. Benison. Dispossessed by Miedema. Blackstenius. McCabe. McCabe for Blackstenius. Blackstenius' shot blocked by George. Arsenal not quite able to fully capitalise. So they chase a second goal here. Blackstenius for Wienreuter. Wienreuter got her first Arsenal goal in the 3-2 loss against Manchester United. McCabe. Now Wienreuter. Wienreuter settles for the corner off Natalie Bjorn. Arsenal hunting for a second. Keep up their proud WSL home record. They had the best home record in the league last season. Only dropped points in the 1-1 home draw against Manchester United in February. Catley to take it, left-footed, in-swinging. Such a dependable performer for the Gunners over the years. Catley's cross, just about kept in by Blackstenius. Miedema couldn't quite bring it down for a shot. Lovely few touches from Miedema, though, helps it on for Wienreuter. Miedema. Miedema's cross, Ramsey was uncertain and smashed away by Beattie. What a chance for a second. Uncertain goalkeeping. Ball into a really dangerous area from Viviana Miedema. Then Jem Beattie on the half volley smashes it over. Could have been her first goal of the season. Doesn't get many, the Scot, of course, very much not her primary duty. In comes the corner, flicked on by Beattie, scramble in there, and Blackstenius almost makes it 2. So close for Arsenal. Bit of penalty box pinball here. It was Beattie who got there. And Stina Blackstenius, if she puts that either side of Ramsey, keeper probably doesn't have the time to react. Frida Leonardson-Mornham to take the corner. Lifted in towards Beattie, only headed half away. And Everton survive. Park can give chase. Penalty recycles for McCabe. It's held back as we head into first half stoppage time. Significant moments in this one. If Arsenal can grab a second, they'll be in total control. If Everton can get to half-time 1-0 down, I believe that, of course, it only takes a mistake from Arsenal or a moment of magic to get themselves level. Leonardson-Mornham I was looking for a second like she was taking that, but in fact wasn't. Could be the Leonardson-Mornham with her right foot or Catley with her left. Lifted in and well caught by Ramsey. And Wubben-Moy sniffing around her, trying to turn it goalwards. Two minutes minimum added on at the end of this first half. Throw-in conceded by Catley. Arsenal looking to keep this proud home record of theirs going. They've only lost 3 of their last 37 home league games. That recent defeat to Manchester United. 2-1 loss against Manchester City in February last year. And a 4-1 loss against Chelsea back in January 2020. Bennisson gets it away. Bjorn. Stevenik. Miedemar with the interception. Miedemar, of course, scored a key equaliser against Juventus in the Champions League last Thursday. And a moment of Miedemar magic is the difference between the sides here at half-time. Half a football that's not really had many clear-cut chances at either end, aside from the goal, albeit Katja Snoys put the ball over the bar with a good chance to test Manu Zinsberger. At the break here at Meadow Park, it's Arsenal 1, Everton 0. Let's take a look.